So in this video, I'm going to go over what I believe to be the 3 best options for WordPress hosting. In the next minute or so, I'll describe all 3, and then I'll go into a little more detail on each one. So number 1, and not necessarily number 1 because it's my favorite, but number 1 because it's the least expensive, would be SiteGround's WooCommerce hosting. What I like about SiteGround is that it's $6 a month, and that at that price, which is criminally low, you get a one-click installer, SSL, email, and it automatically connects with the Cloudflare CDN. What I don't like about this is that it's a guided onboarding, which means you've got to buy your domain from them, and if you don't, there's an upcharge for that, and you want to buy a year at a time, and if you don't, there's an upcharge for that. There's some upcharges, so it's a little misleading. It's not quite $5.95 a month, but it's fast, it's stable, it's secure, it's perfect for someone that's just kind of getting started. The next tool on my list, or the next hosting option on my list, would be Nexcess. Nexcess is sort of the opposite of SiteGround. It's more powerful, better performance, but really what you're paying for when you get a Nexcess hosting account is really, really good support. I can't emphasize this enough. The support is excellent. Most hosting companies, support staff, doesn't know what they're talking about, and I say this as someone who interacts with support staff from time to time at a bunch of different companies, because not all our clients are on these tools, right? A lot of these clients are on different hosting accounts. It can be difficult to get through to someone who knows what they're talking about at GoDaddy, almost impossible. And I'm not trying to badmouth GoDaddy, it's just that's reality. Nexcess, I've never had a bad experience with one of their hosting people. And then Nexcess, a lot of times, will go above and beyond and go look at your code. So if you want really good support and you want to be able to call someone and ask them for help any time of the day and get really good help, pay the money for Nexcess. It's wonderful. The last option is our own custom stack, and it's sort of complicated, so I'll get into it, but it's about $12 a month, well, $17 a month, and it splits the difference here in terms of quality, speed, customization, but it does have one problem, and that our stack has one problem in that, and I'll go through all of these options, you have to know how to set it up. So my 1, 2, 3 would be the cheap, sort of getting started would be SiteGround. The premium, the one that I would recommend for most companies would be Nexcess. And then the one that we set up and that I would recommend to anyone who's a developer or designer set up is as follows. First, we register a domain with our own registrar, Spork Hosting. And I mention this because this is a GoDaddy reseller account. So we have lots of domains. We can buy those domains and renew those domains at wholesale. And so the $200 a year that I spend to have a reseller account, I earn that back in the savings that I get on all the domains that I own. Then after we get the domain registration, then we would go to Cloudflare and set up their system, which is available on a free plan, and on the free plan is excellent. The main thing that we like about Cloudflare is the performance improvements. It's a reverse proxy and a content delivery network combined, so it will serve a lot of your assets for you, meaning your web hosting or web server doesn't have to serve images, JavaScript files, CSS files. It just reduces the load on that server. That helps make your site really fast. It also has some security features in that it'll block a lot of bots. It'll block a lot of common exploits and common attacks. It'll fight a DDoS attack. And it'll allow you to do some cool things like challenging everyone from a certain country. Like we see in our server logs, a lot of times that the attacks come from the same 3 or 4 countries. So we challenge every visitor from those countries because those typically aren't countries our clients sell product in. Anyway, I can go on and on. The pricing for Cloudflare is unbeatable at $0. At $20, we pay for this from time to time. We feel pretty good about it when we do. So I definitely would recommend the free plan or even the pro plan if you've got the money to spend. For hosting, we like DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean is hosting for developers. There is support. They do have good documentation. I haven't ever interacted with their support team, so I don't know how good it is, but my guess would be that their support can't be that fast because of just how inexpensive it is. What we really like about it, though, is not the support. What we really like about it is it's really quick to set these droplets up and configure them. So creating a droplet and then scaling it up and down or adding load balancing or whatever is really easy. We also like the fact that we can take a snapshot of our install at any time before we do a big change. And then on top of all of that, you're going to laugh when you see the pricing. $5 a month for their smallest droplet, and you might think, well, that's, there's not enough power there for me. We have lots of sites running on a $5 a month droplet with no concerns about performance. And take my word for it or not, but $5 or $10 a month for most WooCommerce sites is plenty. So having said all of this about DigitalOcean and how good of a value it is, there is a problem with DigitalOcean, and that is it does not really come with a traditional control panel. You've got a SSH is what you've got, shell access. So we don't use that. We use Server Pilot for control panel. Part of the reason we use Server Pilot is because of me. I am not a super happy, comfortable user of a command line, so I like using the Server Pilot control panel better, and partially just because there's a lot of value here. So the control panel has one-click install for WordPress, but it also has a free integrated Let's Encrypt SSL, which sets up really quickly. And then it's got a really good stack. Like the time that it would take for us to set up an Nginx installation, for example, or some of the cool caching stuff that we do with W3 Total Cache plugin, it's all pre-wired, pre-configured here for Server Pilot. So it's just kind of hard to beat. And the pricing on this is cheap. It's $5 a month plus 50 cents per domain. So for $5.50, you can set up a really good install for WordPress on a $5 droplet, and you're at $10 a month with your free Cloudflare plan. And I challenge anyone to build a faster site for less. The last piece of this puzzle is G Suite. So we use G Suite because we really like Gmail, and with G Suite you can send Gmail, but you can use Gmail, but you can send and receive from yourdomain.com. So all the sporkmarketing.com email, for instance, is sent and received on a G Suite account in Gmail. But we also like G Suite because when we add someone to our team, it's really easy for us to get them integrated quickly. We can add them to Google Drive and see all our documents, add them to calendars, etc. So the pricing is the only thing I would complain about. G Suite used to be free for the first 10 users, which I loved. Now it's $6 a month no matter what. But it does come with 30 gigabytes of storage, which is considerable, and some of these other features. I don't think we've ever used the video tool, but maybe we're missing the boat there. But again, it's Gmail, and for $6 a month, Gmail is world class. Like, it's hard to beat. So that's our standard stack: Spork Hosting, Cloudflare, DigitalOcean, ServerPilot.io, and G Suite. If that all sounds really complicated and you've made it this far and you're thinking, geez, Jason, that's cool, but maybe I don't want that much stuff, check out Nexcess, check out SiteGround. So anyway, that's my list.